Welcome back to URM Academy. If you are a rock or metal producer, this is your one-stop shop on YouTube. Today, I've got a clip for you from our brand new Arranging Cover Songs Fast Track. In this fast track, McFarland from the band Galactic Empire takes a well-known orchestral theme song from a movie that starts with Star and ends with Wars that I won't name so we don't get in trouble. He takes that song and arranges it for a 5-piece metal band. Now you might be thinking to yourself, well, I'm not in a cover band, I don't play covers, who cares? I don't need this. Wrong, you definitely need this. And the reason why is simple, because arrangement is the foundation of any mix. And you, as the producer, your job is to take the song and make it sound its very best. So whether you do cover songs or not, arrangement is a thing that every producer needs to understand extremely well. And in this clip, he's going to give you a little bit of insight on how to take something like this orchestral theme song and dissect it down into its barest elements and then translate that into what a rock band would play. So whether you do cover songs or not, this is stuff you need to know. And again, this is just one piece of, I don't know, I think the whole fast track's like 3 hours long. So anyway, let's get into the clip.
Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're going to work on programming the chord structure of the song. Now, the chord structure is actually gonna be pretty similar to the bass line because it's built off of that. So that's why we did our bass line first. We have sort of the lowest notes already in there, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna listen to the bass line, and we're gonna be listening for any notes that correspond to the bass line and they're being played at the same time, but maybe they're harmonizing with it. Kind of the same way that we had harmonies that were playing with the leads. We're looking for harmonies that are playing with the bass line. So the first thing that I'm going to do is actually take this bass line MIDI that I've already programmed, and I'm gonna copy it, and I'm gonna paste it down to a new track. And essentially, the reason for that, again, is because we're going to be kind of building off of this bass line. The bass line that we programmed is in the same octave currently as our chord structure. I want to take a moment to listen. So what I'm going to do, just sort of a little shortcut here, is the bass line that we've previously programmed. I don't want the bass line and the piano chord to share the same octave. So I'm going to take our bass line and I'm going to exaggerate it a little bit. I want this to be an octave lower because when you play the same notes on a bass guitar versus, an electric guitar, it's typically an octave lower. So I want this to be an octave lower than my chords. And what I'm gonna do for that is right-click on this region here. And in Pro Tools, if you go to Event Operations and Transpose, you can take all this MIDI and you can transpose it down 1 octave. You could also go up an octave, but yeah, we're gonna go down 1 octave and hit. So what that did was it lowered it down. If we look at the MIDI window, I'm going to undo that move that I made. So you can see it's just kind of another way to get from point A to point B. I could have drug all these notes down, but if I'm not in this view, it's just another way to move this MIDI down 1 octave. So now when we look at our bass line and our chords in the same window, we can see that they're now in 2 different octaves. Again, the reason why I moved the bass line down is because I want that to be an octave lower than the guitar chords and just kind of fill out the low end. So let's go ahead and listen to just the orchestra again, soloed, And we're going to be listening for any other notes that correspond with the low-end bass line. Really, there's not a lot of harmony going on here. It sounds like there might be another octave being played, but that's about it. So what we're going to do is take all these notes So essentially, if I was going to play this on a guitar, and you play a power chord that's on 3 strings, you actually get a middle note. Typically, this is a power chord, right? You have 3 notes, which is a root, 5th, and an octave. I'm not going to program in that middle note right now because it's not actually in this score. I might make that decision later creatively, but right now I'm just trying to accurately represent what's happening. Cool. So to me, that's all I'm really hearing in that part. So there's not a lot of thick chords with a lot of harmonies being played. However, this next set of notes, a lot of harmony starts to get introduced. So right now I'm hearing bum, 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 bum. So it's sort of bum. 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 Bum, bum. Let's mute this again. Bum, 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 bum. So that sounds pretty good. Now, there's some other stuff going on in the middle here. What I kind of did was started with my lowest note, and then I listened for kind of the highest harmony that I heard that was playing at the same time as these notes. So now all I really need to do is kind of listen for anything that might be sitting in between these notes, kind of in the middle. And I find that this is the best way to do this because then you're not playing any guessing games. You know, if you're really just listening for the lowest material and the highest material, and then kind of filling in what's in the middle, you're probably going to get most of the notes in there. So let's take a listen for anything that might be below this one that we just programmed. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. So sometimes it helps. It's like a power chord kind of sounding thing. Let's make sure that there's no other notes here. I might just mute these with Command M. I think that's all the notes that are being played there. There might be that note. Yeah, I'm hearing that note in there, so I'm going to add that. Again, we're just going to mute the track with Shift M. So So I'm hearing a note in between these two. Bum. So it's kind of just this middle note. Mute again. Bum, 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 bum. So that harmony would sound nice to me. Bum, bum. Let's stop for a second and see if that's actually in there. I'm gonna mute this track. It doesn't really sound like it's there. So I'm gonna get rid of it. Okay, so I'm hearing some other things happening here. Okay. Bum, bum. Bum, bum. And then I'm hearing one more thing. Bum, bum. It's kind of what's already being represented in the melody, but I think it'd be nice to have a nice 3-note chord here. It kind of sounds like it's in there. Okay, so let's take a listen to what we have so far. Let's mute the piano chords and listen to just the orchestra. Yeah, so I think I've found everything that I wanted to find as far as the chord structure goes. So that's pretty much it.
All right, my friends, I hope you enjoyed that clip from Grant McFarland's Arranging Cover Songs Fast Track. Again, this is just one clip from like a 2.5-hour fast track. And this fast track itself is only one of like 50 in the library. So when you join URM Enhanced, you're gonna get access to this entire fast track and like 50 others. So, I mean, come on, how could you not take advantage of this deal? If you're interested, just hit that link in the description and we'll see you there.